Data structures in SAP system. Now, what are data structures? These are basically client-specific and cross-client customizing, segmentation of data structures. Now, data structures can be uh, spanning across multiple landscape. Okay, a client is a unit within SAP system. Now, what is a client over here? We'll see a client is basically client is this 100. Now, this 100 can be development server, QA server, or production server. But client is one instance, one server that you're working on for development. Okay. Characterized by the fact that it has its own business data environment. So you have business data environment like you have all the modules like accounting, logistics, everything is manageable in this landscape, in this ecosystem of one SAP instance that is client. Okay. So it has its own master and transactional data. By master data, what do you mean? By master data, we mean, for example, let's say material master and material and create material master, material, and we are going to create one. So industry sector, let's say mechanical engineering. Material type is ROH or raw, okay. And select views. Select the views, basic data, purchasing. Anyways, enter plant AA42, and let's say 300 meter or basic unit measure. Each material group AARM. Purchasing order unit, purchasing group, automatic PO, source list, and plant data, storage location, Karachi, accounting one, valuation class 3000. Okay, and that's it. Save. Okay, material has been created. So this is master data. Okay, and it has its own user data. Now, what is user data? For example, SU01. So every user will have their own login data, their own parameters and default data. Okay, so this is called client specific data. Repository is where all the logic, the code, development objects, libraries, dictionary objects are stored. So all of these objects, when they are grouped together in one carton, in one place, it is called a package. Okay, so we use in our programs local package that is $TMP. So packages are containers for semantically linked. Semantically means organically linked development objects, which are programs, tables, code, everything. Client 100, client 200, we have application data, client specific. Client specific is like company code, the material that we use, the numbering range that we have used here. Okay. Then we have user authorizations. Now, user authorization is what we are going to actually check. Application data. Application data is like orders, invoices, transactions that we execute and work on. And same goes on for other client. This can be development client. This can be quality server. And we have repo. Repo is basically data objects, basically residing and stored in the repo level, that is tables, programs, transaction, all the logic, the code, the connections, the integrations are basically are residing here. So we have cross-client customization as well. So this is our username. We'll change it. We'll change it and see what default we have. Okay. Logon data. This is our logon data. Parameters. Parameters are these are some parameters like default values, options, groups, which user groups we are assigned to. Okay. Personalization. Okay, now these are basically areas we can actually work on and we are allowed to work. Okay. So this is basically is user defined authorizations, user areas. Okay. So programming in ABAP basically is happening at the application layer, and we have the database layer at the bottom and the presentation at the top where users actually interact with the ERP system. All apps and applications are developed using ABAP. It's event-driven programming that we execute, okay? And we basically are con containing the logic to be executed upon triggering, okay? So let's go and see what programs that we will be actually writing today. So we have ABAP editor, okay? And let's say we go to the main menu. We have ABAP editor for programming, data dictionary for making tables, screen painter for designing reports and screens. The screens that we just saw in Material Master is basically the screen has been designed using ABAP screen programming, and that we will always use. Okay. Now, utilities, ABAP workbench. Okay, overview. We have many areas, editor, we have data browser, we have modification browser, business object browser, and so on. Okay. SAP editor, ABAP editor, class builder, we'll be using all of these. Menu painter for designing menus. Okay. So we'll be using SE11 to check on the database tables and SE38 to build the logic. Okay. So as we have said, each statement begins with a keyword and ends with a period. We have already seen that. ABAP word is known as keyword. ABAP code is not sensitive. Okay. So SE38 is our first go-to transaction. And today we'll be writing a code. Let's start with a code. Okay. ZT53 5 October and lecture 3 some parameters. We'll make it a little because we've already given the date. Create ZT53 parameters October. Executable type. Local object. Now this is a package. I've already told you what is a package. Okay. Here is our program name. Okay. First is a keyword that is in blue. It's always starting with a keyword. Okay. Now this anything that is blue is a keyword used by SAP. It's a syntax of SAP itself. So right now we are defining a parameter for input, which is p name. Now p name is a name of that variable that will take parameters as input. Type C. Okay. Type C means character type. Okay. And since this is this was in red, we'll have to attach it with this variable name p name. P means parameters and name is denoting the purpose of this field. Start of selection, this is another keyword where the selection is basically, this will be used when ahead in advanced lectures. Start of selection is basically where we actually execute a table content and it pulls out the records. Okay. P name is equal to was net, right? P name, right? And so we'll actually change this. Check. No syntax errors. Activate. Direct processing. Okay. Now over here, if you see wasnet is being selected. Okay. Let's say we say, for example, I don't know, execute. The input was, it didn't actually show that. Okay. P name is equal to what was net at selection screen output. Whenever we see the selection screen where parameters will be taken, was net will be default entry. Okay. Right P name. Okay. And right end. Okay. We'll see name. Check. Activate. Enter. Direct processing was net. Execute. The input was not shown. Okay. The input was right justified or left justified. This is again a keyword and it shows that this statement will be left justified. Okay. At selection screen output. No syntax errors. Activate. At selection screen output. Direct processing. Was net. Execute. Was net end. Okay. Now, if I actually add this slash, it will give me a new line. Okay. Activate. Direct processing. Execute. Was net end. Okay. And if I have to actually pull back, and I will do right P name, activate. Direct processing. Input was net. It's not actually picking up, but anyways, we've already shown the logic. Okay. So Eleanor and okay, this is working. So let's go to another. So we just actually move start of selection. Okay. And
सर ये सर
okay. ABAP syntax. Now ABAP syntax, it consists of statements. Each statement begins with a keyword and ends with a period. First, ABAP word is known as keyword. Now, what is a keyword here? This is keyword. Blue is keyword. Blue is keyword. This is keyword. This is keyword. This is keyword. The other words are operands, operators, additions to keywords. Okay, like this. This is addition to keywords. ABAP must be separated by at least one space. ABAP words. So there will be space, at least one. There can be more than one statement in a program, and statement may extend over several program lines. ABAP is not case sensitive. Okay, ABAP programs are always divided into two parts: global declaration, procedural part. Global declaration, this is global declaration happening here, and then procedural, that this is procedure one, then procedure two. Okay. Selection screen output means that we actually displayed this, and start of selection. This is again, this we will actually study in the advanced lecture, then you'll get the logic of this. Okay. So start of selection is whatever input it is getting line by line, it will actually print back in the name. Okay. So anything blue is keyword. Okay. And procedural part is we are telling a procedure, we are telling steps how to execute the program. Global declaration, declarative statements can be used to make definitions. Now, what is definition? We are defining what is PNAME. What is PNAME? PNAME without definition is nothing but we give instruction to SAP that this is parameter, input parameter it will take, plus the size will be 10. We can increase the size also, and that will be 20. Type C. Type C means character. This can be numeric also. This can be integer as well. Okay, and this can be Boolean, anything. Activate. Okay, ERP code. Now we have extended the size. Okay. So declarative string can be used to make definitions and declarations that are visible and valid throughout the ABAP program. Declarative part is followed by procedural part. We first declared a variable, and then we gave the procedure what to do with this variable. Simple as that. To maintain clarity, it is advisable to make this program structure transparent by using comment lines. Okay. So we've actually used something like this. Parameters input is the variable. It is the name of the variable, size 16 of type character, and input was, it will print the input because input has been mentioned over here. Okay. Program statements work only with data of the same program. Data of the same program. This is one program. Anything declared over here will only work in this program. External data such as user inputs on screens or database must always transfer local data local to the program in order to process with ABAP statements. So we'll actually study this in the later lectures. Okay. Physical units with which ABAP statements work at runtime are called internal program data objects. Internal program data objects. The contents of data object occupy memory space in the program. Now, this is a data object. Variable is also called a data object, a container, a bucket, a carton. Okay. It will occupy some space in your house. That carton will occupy, or that shelf. Okay. It will occupy some space in your house. So in that way, data object also occupies some space, and that is 20 spaces. ABAP statements access these contents by addressing the name of the data object. Now, over here, it is accessing PNAME. Okay, that's how it accesses. Each ABAP data object has a set of technical attributes. Now, technical attributes is this, and it can be this as well, but this is a statement keyword, but this is the technical attribute. Technical are data type, field length, number of decimal places. Yeah, this is also a part of technical attribute. So this determines how the content of data objects are interpreted by ABAP statement. So data types are character, numeric, data, time, fact, decimal, floating point, integer, hexadecimal string, hexadecimal string. Data types, predefined non-numeric are character, numeric, date, time, hexadecimal. These are non-numeric. Numeric are integer, floating point, and fact number. Okay. Field length for date, floating, integer, and time is fixed. Field length determines number of bytes data object occupies in memory. This is the space, the memory it will be allocated and it will occupy. In types, character, numeric, hexa, fact, the length is not part of the type definition. Instead, you define it when you declare data object in program. So you can define any size for all this: character, numeric, hexa, and fact. Data type P, fact. is particularly for exact calculations. This is for use for using mathematical, like weight, like temperature, like tax amount. These are used for calculations. For percentage, when you define object P, also specify number of decimal places, because temperature can go into decimal places. Okay. Weight can also go into decimal places. You can also define your element data type using type statement. This we'll see in later on. Okay. You base these on the predefined data types. You base these. I mean, if you have to define something, for example, types T ty user type P underscore name. Okay. Now this will actually inherit. This is container, which is inheriting or taking features from P name. Now, what is it inheriting? What is inheriting? For example, you have two iPhones, of like iPhone 10. You have two iPhones. One iPhone has broken because of screen or battery or anything. And you've got another iPhone where uh, it has to be, for example, if one iPhone is not working, the other iPhone is working, but it doesn't have the battery, the screen. So it will actually take the screen and battery of this and transfer here to make it workable, because this is not working. For example, I'm just using an example. So it is taking all the features, like if I give another example, like the son of a father, of course, gets the features of the father. So this is, oh, this is the father and this is the son. So this actually son gets all the 100% features, like facial features, like body structure, like his wealth, his cars, his property, everything is inherited by the son from his father. That's what inheritance is. Okay, so that is how we'll discuss that as well. Let's write a quick program. Okay. Okay. It's taking so long. We'll do it in the next class. Okay. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. I'll upload.